this is the how to replace your screen video for a Hewlett-Packard G7. This is the 1167DX model. Okay, so first thing, Hewlett-Packard, their owner's manual says that you should take basically the entire laptop apart to get the screen off. I didn't see that as being necessary. So here's what you need to do. It's very simple. It's a lot easier than it looks. Right here in the corner, it's kind of hard to see, I know, but right there in the corner is a little black piece on these laptops, and it's a little like plastic tape. Peel that off on both sides. On both sides, you're going to come up with a Phillips head screw. You're going to remove that screw. Now, this has been loosened already. It will not pop like that when you first do it. So you remove the screws on both sides, or at least loosen them up, and you can get to them with the laptop leaned back, just the screen leaned back. Once you have that loose, then you're going to take, what I did is I took a screwdriver, just a big flathead, bigger flathead screwdriver like this, and I kind of wedged it into one side. I just slowly, very slowly worked it around the entire screen. This is the bezel that goes around. And you hear that one, that clicked. That's what you're going to hear. And you basically just take it and just keep popping it all the way off. Okay, now once you do that, these little screws are probably going to fly out. You just remove the bezel. 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4 down here. You're going to want to take those screws out, and again, I've loosened these already, so they're going to come out very easily. Now you will notice when you're doing this that there are 2 screws here on the hinge plates. Those do not need to come out. Do not take those 2 screws out. They can stay in. Once you get these 4 out on the corners, the laptop lid basically is going to flop backwards. Now, on the side of the laptop, you'll see there's a screw there. Well, there's also one down here. And there's the same thing on the other side. And again, you're going to want to loosen these up, take them all the way out. This actually holds the screen in to the frame. And do the same thing on this side. All 4 screws are loose. The screen, as you can see, is kind of laying there. You can take the screen out. Okay, I'm going to handhold this for a second because what I want you to see is this is where the connector is. Now they make 2 different types depending on the version of the G7 you have. It can be over here, it can be over on this side. I'm sure they did other things too, but mine is over here on the right. This is the 1167DX. And as you can see, it's taped on there as well. That tape is very important because that little pin does not, it doesn't stick in there very well. You're just going to lift the tape carefully, and then the pin connector just pulls out, and then your screen is loose. Okay, putting this back together again is really the same thing you just did taking it apart, just in reverse. It's very quick, very simple. You're going to take the plug and plug it in. It's not difficult, you just can't force it. Okay, once that's all the way in, you want to make sure it's pressed down. Make sure that tape is reapplied. I just use the same tape. You might want to need, or you might want to get new tape to put on there. That's up to you. So we're going to put our screw in. Okay, so I'm going to put all 4 of those in. 4 screws are in on the sides. So now we're left with putting in the 4 screws around the corner. Now on the bottom, there are actually 2 holes. There's one here, and there's one here, closer to the hinge. For these screws holding the frame, holding the lens of the screen, holding the screen in, we want to use the holes that are on the outside, the ones furthest from the hinge. The other holes will be taken up with the screws holding in, holding on the bottom of the surround piece, the trim piece. All right, got that all in there. Now, at this point, we're basically putting the trim piece on. So we slide the trim piece down over top the hinges. We line up our little screws down there. I'm going to go ahead and put those in before I snap it all together, just to make sure everything's lined up. Once they're on down there, we're just going to go around and snap it back together. And it snaps on the bottom here as well, so don't forget those. All right. I guess this is the big test. Will the laptop screen actually work? Yes, it does. So there we have it. That is how to change the screen on a Hewlett-Packard G7, Pavilion G7-1167DX. Hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions about it, just put them in the comments, and I'll try to answer everything I get. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.